Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danon, joins us now. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Ambassador, you're in the same building as the Islamic Republic of Iran, a nation who is the head of proxies that has created a ring of fire and a multi-front campaign against Israel. How does it make you feel?
Well, it's frustrating to see that charade when you hear the Iranian leader blaming Israel, lying to the world about the involvement of Iran in the chaos we are now facing in the Middle East. And we know the facts. We know that they support Hamas, that they support Hezbollah, they support the Houthis. They are the ones who actually bring the situation to where we are today. I would expect many leaders here to isolate Iran, to condemn the Iranian regime, and to say very clearly, we know exactly what you are doing. Don't play this game of speaking nice when you come to New York and then sending billions to the proxies.
It's interesting you should say that because I was just there and pretty much all the world leaders were clapping at the end of President Pezeshkian's speech. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that he knows how to play the game. And he plays the game with the media, with the diplomats here. But when you look at the actions of the regime, the way they treat human rights in Iran, the way they send the proxies to attack Israel and other forces of stability, you realize it's a dangerous regime. He's a dangerous man. And let's analyze his speech. He said that we lost the war in Gaza. That is a lie. He said that Iran is not involved in a war. That's a lie. April 14th, Iran sent hundreds of missiles and rockets to Israel. So he's lying. He's lying, and unfortunately, some people here are buying it.
Now, you're both in the same city right now. Theoretically speaking, if you were to bump into him, what would you say to him?
No, I don't know if I would approach him. I know he's playing a game. I would speak with the other diplomats and ask them to isolate this regime, to apply crippling sanctions against this regime, and to understand. Look at Lebanon today. We're going to have a debate tomorrow in the Security Council with many ministers and the Secretary General, and they will speak about the suffering of the Lebanese people. But why the Lebanese people are suffering? Because the regime of Tehran that are using Lebanon as a launching pad against Israel. We have no desire to start a war with Lebanon now. We just want the Israelis to live safely in their communities. But Iran, they are the one who are actually using Lebanon in order to create chaos in the region.
So what's next then? What are the next steps in Lebanon?
So if diplomacy will not work, we will push Hezbollah from our offense. We have the might and capabilities and technology to do that, and we are starting to show some of our abilities. And I hope that the Lebanese people will have the courage to pressure Hezbollah to stop the aggression. Ask yourself why we have a conflict now between Hezbollah and Israel. What is the reasoning of the conflict? We have no dispute over territory, no dispute over resources. It's only because the Iranian regime wanted to support Hamas, and they ordered Hezbollah to support Hamas. And the people of Lebanon and Israel are suffering because of that.
So do you foresee then the Islamic Republic getting involved in a wider regional war if diplomacy doesn't work?
Well, I think for them it's easier to use the proxies. They want to see the proxies suffer. They want to see Syria and Lebanon and other countries paying the price. And I think they would try to continue with that. I think the international community should be smarter and should start apply sanctions against Iran.
One thing Pezeshkian said was that he accused Israel of, quote, creating traps to lead Iran into a wider regional war. What do you make of that?
Well, we have no intention to fight with anyone. We are a peaceful nation. We signed peace treaties with many Muslim countries. Hopefully we will sign more, inshallah, with Saudi Arabia and more countries. But I think the Iranians, they have these radical ideas of controlling the Middle East. And that's why they are attacking so many countries, and they support the bad actors, the bad proxies. But we are peaceful. And we used to have a great relationship with the Iranian people before the revolution. And we hope one day it will go back to where it went, when there will be a new regime in Iran.
Tuesday morning, President Joe Biden said, quote, that we need to cut off the oxygen of Iran and that we can't see a nuclear Iran, although he didn't specify how that would be done and didn't acknowledge that it was the U.S. that gave $6 billion in frozen assets to the Islamic Republic. Do you feel that the U.S. is supporting Israel enough when it comes to the Islamic Republic of Iran?
Well, first of all, we are grateful for the support that we receive from the U.S. Not many countries stand with us in this building, and we appreciate that. At the same time, I think we have to look at the situation today in Iran, analyze the nuclear program, understand that they were lying all the way. And I think that not only the U.S., all Western democracies should do more. Should do more and understand that the point that diplomacy fails and you have to take other measures. I think with Iran today, we realize that they don't care about diplomacy.
You said that they want them to do more, not just the U.S., but Western nations. Do you believe that under this administration that the U.S. will do more?
Well, we are not involved in the political game here in the U.S., but they have elections. I don't expect much to happen in the next 2 months, but there will be a new administration, and hopefully the new administration will realize that the enormous challenge we are facing.
And this is your second term doing this. I believe you came out of retirement, and things are obviously not pleasant, so to speak, right now. Why did you come back?
Well, I wasn't planning to come back. If you would have asked me after 5 long years if I would be here, I would tell you never again. But October 7th changed a lot. I wasn't in retirement yet. I was back in politics in Israel. I got elected back to the parliament. But once I saw what's happening here, and I have the skills and the knowledge of this, how things work here, I accepted the offer of the Prime Minister to come and serve Israel at these very challenging times.
And do you have a message to the people of Iran?
Yes, we love the Iranian people. We have very good memories, and we feel for them, but they are now are occupied by this regime. And we have to pray together that one day we'll be able to come back to the days when we cooperated, celebrated, and built good things for both nations. I believe one day it will happen.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's the Israeli Ambassador, Danon, to the United Nations.